You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
Gather round, kids. I have a Christmas story to tell. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the restaurant, not a server was working.
Not even Janet. The stockings were tight on the hostess that night, in hopes that a guy soon would be there. The servers were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of beef and turkey danced in their heads. And Ellie in her sweaters and Todd in his coat had just settled on our menu on a good note. When out on Main Street there arose such a clatter, and I sprang from my station to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and took out the trash. The moon is shining on Main Street that night, gave that luster of wonder, oh, what a sight! When, to my wandering eyes should appear, but Sarah, with 8 shots of Jack and a lot of good cheer. With a little old carver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be a beef on wick. More rapid than eagles his servers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Charles, now Jamie, now Marcy and Jim, on Michelle, on Suzanne, on Janet and Aaron. To the front door, to the back wall, now seat away, seat them all. And then in a moment I heard from the kitchen the screaming and yelling of each little cook. As I look at my notes and was turning around, into the kitchen he came with a bound. He was dressed in all white from his head to his feet, and his clothes were all polished, looking snazzy and neat. A bundle of beef he had flung on a stack, and he looked like a carver, keeping on track. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, 'cause he saw people eating his beef on a roll. The speed of a knife he held tight in his hand caused smoke to encircle his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of cranberry. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the orders, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose and giving a nod to the server who knows, he talked to the cooks and his team in the kitchen, and away they agreed on his final decision. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight,
Merry Christmas to all, and all of a good night.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.